Welcome to JP's.
Hello and welcome in to just like a full file where we turn left, right, go straight. And today we are joined by Nathan Butts. How you doing, Nathan? You got the Young Motorsports number 02 Chevrolet.
Yeah, Justin, I'm doing great. Thanks you for having me on the show. I really like that intro too. It's very fun.
Yeah, thank you. So tell me, Nathan. My first question has to do with Young Motorsports. How you enjoy racing for them and what's your relationship like with them?
Yeah, I think we have a good relationship. I really enjoy working with Tyler Young and the whole crew and the whole team. Everyone there is just very just encouraging, and they kind of just understand like I'm like a newer guy coming in and just trying to get experience, and they understand like I'm not like we're not trying to win races just yet. We're still trying to work up to it, and especially me, I feel like I'm usually the limiting factor of the team's performance, which makes sense if I'm lacking the experience necessary. Um, I think we've had a lot of awesome trucks so far this year, and it's just a matter of just me getting the experience and the seat time to really take these trucks to the limit and just help develop the program more and more. But yeah, it's awesome working with Tyler and the crew, and yeah, just grateful to be part of the Young's Motorsports team.
So tell me, what was the process like to get a part of the Young Motorsports team? And how much shopping around did you look before you settled on a couple races with Young Motorsports?
Yeah, that's a good question. We actually work with me and my dad, Byrd Racing, if you will. We work with Motorsports Management International (MMI) um, to just help represent me as a driver and just help to communicate with these teams because my family we know the short track sort of the Indy car world, like Formula Car world, a bit more, a lot better than we do the NASCAR world. And so we had to go and lean on MMI, and they've been an awesome resource in just helping make those connections, having those conversations, and then having those conversations on behalf of us in terms of talking with these teams and seeing what sorts of deals can be made. We basically just help tell MMI like, hey, this is what we want to do. And they go out and like figure out like, okay, this is probably the best team to do it with at the budget that you're seeking, with the races that you're trying to get into. So that's kind of what we've been doing. We've like been able to have a good relationship with MMI and just work with them. So that's kind of how that process works, at least for us. It's not as interesting as like I'm sitting down with all these different team owners and we're coming to like the hard negotiations and this and that. It's not quite that, um, but we are trying to just accomplish all of the goals at like we want to get to all the tracks we want to get to, race the races we want to race, and do it at the budget that we can afford. And that's what MMI has helped us do. And that's how we got connected ultimately with Young's Motorsports. So yeah, it's been a good relationship, and I'm grateful for MMI's help in that.
So talk to me about uh Young Motorsports and how many races and what you plan on doing the rest of the season with them.
Yeah, so the our deal with Youngs this year, we're planning on running, at least for me, I'm planning on running 15 of the 25. We've raced effectively 11 of the 20 of the 15 races that were slated to run. And I have just was it 4 races? Yeah, 3 races left or 4 races left. I think we either ran 11 already, but my next one's Darlington and then Talladega and then Phoenix. So yeah, I guess I ran like 12 of the 15 that were scheduled. And yeah, so those are the final races I have left this year. Most of my truck racing, unfortunately, is behind me this season. I wish there was a bit more. I've been enjoying it a lot. But yeah, that's what we're doing with Youngs this year. And yeah, I'm excited to finish out the season strong.
So talk to us about your relationship with uh Young Motorsports and the team and just who 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 do you really look up to in racing?
Yeah, so Stephen Parsons is a guy that I've that's been really critical and he's been helping me a lot this year. Obviously he's a experienced driver on the Xfinity and the truck side of things, and he's had a lot more experience in the whole NASCAR world than I have. So he's had a couple races with Young's Motorsports so far this year as a teammate as well as racing in my truck when I haven't been able to race. So that's been really good. He's been an awesome mentor, awesome coach in the NASCAR side of things. And yeah, I really value my relationship with Stefan and his involvement with the Young's Motorsports team. I think it's been really, really helpful for me. And especially this last weekend, all the stuff that we were able to talk about and discuss for what did I just race this past weekend? Where were
Pocono.
we at? Pocono. Yeah, yeah. So Pocono was really, really good. And Stefan was very helpful in helping me just work through some data and things like that and footage, SMT, if you will. And yeah, so that's been really helpful. Obviously, like all the guys at Young's, like everyone that does their part on it and out of the Young's Motorsports crew. Um, I could rattle off a bunch of names, but like everyone does their job really, really well, and they're just super committed to it, and they're just awesome guys to have on the team. But yeah, I would say like, a standout is Stefan, just because like I mean, me being a driver, I could thank all my mechanics for making sure the truck runs right. But if the nut behind the wheel isn't quite tightened up, and that's what Stefan helps me with a lot, then we're not going to perform very well. So that I'm always most mainly concerned with like how can I like do the best job that I can, and Stefan's really been able to help me a lot with that.
Now, you say your next race is Darlington, right? So,
Yes.
so have you ever been to Darlington? And if so, what's a goal for that race coming up?
Yeah, so I've never been to Darlington. I actually haven't even seen really any onboard or like anything because like it's 2 months away. Like I have a bit of time to help go and review footage and race at it, which is that's what I always do in terms of my racing preparation. Try to get a few laps on the racing simulator. Try to review as much onboard footage as I have access to. And Stefan recently got access to SMT, so he's been helping me with that. And that's SMT is something I'm going to be getting into more and more as well. And just to look at like more data and just more data points. So that's been really helpful. But yeah, as far as Darlington goes, I've never been there before. Not really sure what to expect. I've heard some things like, oh, like at Darlington, you basically just run the wall and you're super close to it the entire time. And but so I don't know what to expect as much, but I know that I have a lot to learn. And it's just another new track and a new learning experience, and that's what I've been doing a lot this year so far. And yeah, so I'm excited for Darlington and interested to see how what it takes to be fast there.
Yeah, so talk to us about the relationship with your crew chief when you're behind the O2 clock. Um, how do you feel like your relationship now, given your part-time racer, you, your next race is Dalton, so how much talking to them will you do between now and your 2 months before your next start at Dalton?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think like so I failed to mention my crew chief Jason. He's also been a very awesome Jason Miller. He recently has joined Young's as the basically the full-time crew chief of the O2 truck, and yeah, he's been very instrumental I think in ramping up the program and just helping us dial in a few things that we've that we haven't been able to address yet. And he's been really helpful in just like his personal like mentoring slash coaching of me. And so I really value my relationship with Jason, and I think we have a very good relationship. Um, Yeah, I really like to work with him. So I'm probably gonna, I'm definitely gonna be like, I'll probably go to like IRP for example, and hang out with the guys at IRP. I believe that's a couple weeks from now. After I think it's after Lime Rock. So I'll probably go and like stop by the track and support my buddy Jason as well, who's gonna be running the O2 truck. And but yeah, so I'm going to be having quite a few conversations with Jason over the course of the next couple months. Um, I'm not sure how much there's not going to be like a lot to talk about in terms of my own driving, but I can always be debriefing with him about how the truck performed with other drivers in the car since I am in the truck since I am a part-time this year. So yeah, I failed to mention Jason earlier, but yeah, he's definitely a massive part of the team now and very integral to the success. So and I think we've been having a lot of very competitive trucks recently, and I think that's in large part to Jason's efforts and just the experience and knowledge that he brings to the team.
So talk to us real quick about where you come from in your racing career. How did you get started?
Yeah, so it's interesting because my um, racing career didn't start like in terms of actually racing cars and until February of 2020. So right before COVID actually, and all the lockdowns. So I wasn't interested in racing whatsoever growing up, and like I knew my family's been involved. We've been involved in the short track world, the Indy 500 world, since before 1985. 1985 was our first Indy 500 entry, and before that, we were involved in doing short track racing, midgets, and things like that, open wheel short track. And even my great grandmother was involved in the world of motorsports as a car owner in the late 60s, early 70s of stock cars. And I think that was based out of the Indianapolis area. And so, but me growing up, I never had really that much interest, although we were having cars in the Indy 500, entries in the Indy 500 in the early 2000s and the mid 2010s. We were still in to till 2020. We were involved in the Indy 500. We had entries in it. We were involved with other drivers like Brian Clausen, Chris Windom, um, KTJ, like all these short track guys, and James Davison in the NASCAR world as well. I'm supporting him in the Cup Series. And so, but like all the way up until 2018, like I had no interest in racing myself. There was no idea of like, oh, Nathan Byrd could become a race car driver. And, but my dad, when I was 18, just graduated high school in 2018. That summer, he proposed the idea of going from go-karts to the Indy 500. And, and originally it was a 6 year time span, but, and instead of go-karts to the Indy 500 in 6 years, we went from go-karts to my first NASCAR Xfinity Series start in a little like in 5 years or a little like in 6 years. But my actual racing, my car career was progressed me to Xfinity the way that we did it in just over 4 years. So it's pretty cool that I've been able to be on this journey. I feel very blessed by God to be able to have all these opportunities to just race and starting out in go-karting, going into the Oil Formula Car Series, into the Skip Barber F4 Series, and just running a bunch of different Formula cars with the Ride Drive Motorsports between the F1000, the F2000, like a bunch of different Formula cars, the S5000 car that we shipped over from Australia, and running a bunch of open wheel short track stuff across midgets and Silver Crown and Sprint Car and Super Modified and Focus midgets and Wing midgets and getting all that experience across tons of different tracks. Just doing that over the course of 2020 all the way to 2024, 2025, obviously now. And now having the opportunity to race, get my feet more wet in the world of NASCAR, just seeking to get some more experience in the high speed ovals and just get more exposure and get more attuned with the world of NASCAR because I'm learning more and more that it's very fun to race NASCAR and I enjoy it a lot. And that wasn't necessarily the reason why we got into NASCAR, but now it's like, okay, well, NASCAR itself is very, very fun and it's something that I would like to do going forward. So yeah, that's kind of like how I got started. Kind of I can go into more details of my career progression and car progression, but that's the general overview, and it's yeah, just been a real blessing.
So talk to us about your family and how much support you're getting at age 25 and with your family and the background of them racing and now that you're racing, how much support are you getting from them?
I mean, I think it's really all the supports because like all of my family's focus and just like, if we even just talk financial support, all of our budget that used to go towards other race car drivers and supporting them, and like James Davis in the Cup Series and all this stuff. Like I was coming up through the ranks of like let's just call it less expensive racing. I was coming up through the ranks in 2018 through 2021. Um, while James and other drivers were being supported in their Indy 500s and their the NASCAR world and short track stuff. And but now like the all the families racing budget, if you will, like the family business's racing budget and resources is all has been all getting poured into me since like I don't know 2021, 2022, and just really to get me to that original goal for sure, which is running the Indy 500 and being that 23rd entry in the Indy 500, which I view as like a sort of a stamp on of approval on like my family's legacy, a stamp of approval on my career and the fulfillment of my family's legacy in the Indy 500 and our involvement there. So, and just also like a stamp of approval on the way that we chose to develop me as a race car driver to get me to a position where I can race the Indy 500 and be competitive and do all that stuff. So, I think the family supported me a lot by just even through that financial support and just that just focusing all the passion that we have in the world of motorsports into me and just like using me as a funnel of getting all of our racing in. So, and that's not to say like, and that's also obviously besides the fact that my family personally supports me in my racing journey and they wish me like success and my wife has just like been an incredible supporter of what I'm doing um and she thinks it's a little dangerous, but she supports me, and I'm just blessed to be able to have this opportunity and to have the support of my family, and ultimately just I want to be able to give back to my family and like pay back what the investment they made in me. I want to have all this pay off so I can return the favor for my family down the road.
I I hear you. Um, so Nathan, you know, if you went in professional racing, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Hmm. So I think I would be doing right now. Well, originally, when I graduated high school, the goal was just to work in the family business. I was just going to get my degree in business management, my minor in accounting from Grand Canyon University. That's what I did do. But originally, the goal was just to like, okay, I have no other like, there's no other path. Like, there's no other option that I'm taking graduating high school. Like I can't become a. I was really into Call of Duty back then. I was playing it competitively, and like, but there wasn't a realistic path to become a competitive, like professional Call of Duty player. So like obviously I need to think through my decision in going to college and um doing something that can actually support me financially. I had to think through this a bit deeper than, oh, I'm just gonna try to become a professional Call of Duty player. So I that's where my dad essentially talking with me and saying like, hey, but like and me talking with him saying like, I mean, I would like to work for the family business. I think that's where I would be a good fit. And that was the original plan. So I'd probably, in one way or the other, still be. I'm still working in the family business, but just in a different degree, and with with me being the actual capital outflow instead of me helping us save money necessarily. But um, so yeah, I'd probably be working the family business, and I'd probably also be doing, hopefully, some of the things that I'm currently doing, just as like little side gigs and things like that. Side projects that I'm working on, different things that I'm like doing to just maximize my time that I have when I say I have an off weekend from racing. I don't think I think you can do more than just professional racing, especially if you're not doing it full time, like uh like 35 races a year sort of situation. So some of the things I'm doing right now, I'm very passionate about as well. And I would like to I think I would like to think that I'd be doing that exactly what I'm doing right now, just without the racing part. So, but I highly value my professional racing career, and I would like to continue that for as long as possible.
So, Nathan, I do have one more question, and that is, who out of everyone in the Cup Series, who do you talk to the most for advice, and why do you look up to that person?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I don't know if there's a current NASCAR Cup Series driver that like I can say is like, oh, that's my go-to guy. In terms of like I can or that I have a personal ongoing relationship where we're constantly talking and in communication with each other. But there's there's guys that I look up to, and then there's guys that I can talk to that I have talked to. They're not necessarily the same person, but usually they are as well. But I would say in terms of like a guy that I would look up to in terms of just like ability and all that, I would say Kyle Larson's kind of the obvious choice, and him coming from the short track world as well as me, and us being in like races together, like at the same time, and like racing against each other, in the short track world, but and also seeing his success in the world of NASCAR and just really anything that he gets into, he's seeing massive like significant success. He's the guy that I would look up to, not necessarily someone that I like have day-to-day interactions with or that I can ask for advice, but there's quite a few truck guys that I have been able to just build those relationships with, um, and ask that sort of advice for. But you asked for the Cup Series. James Davison, he ran the Cup Series for us under the Byrd Racing sort of like flag for at least for quite some time, like at least for a full season or something like that, or multiple races across 2 seasons, something of that nature. And he's a guy that I can come to for advice in that world, but recently haven't like gone to him specifically for advice. I've been going more towards the guys closer to what I'm doing. The Matt Craftons of the world, the Corey Himes, the Stephen Parsons, obviously, and just guys like that, guys that I'm racing against that or like experienced guys in the field or like crew chiefs and car owners and guys that used to race. And I don't have a lot of relationships with like Cup Series guys, but eventually I think I'll be able to build those relationships and ask them those questions and seek their advice. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, so there's quite a few guys that I look up to in the Cup Series world, but not a lot that I get to talk to.
All right. Well, Nathan, thank you so much. Driver, Young Motorsports number #02 Cluck part-time in the Craftsman Cup Series. Thank you for your time today, and we will see you next time on Full Throttle. Goodbye, everyone.